Welcome to Seeds of Thought. We have all seen the crazy YouTube titles. Money will keep coming nonstop. Become a millionaire in 8 months. Just copy me to make $10,000 per month. Well, today we're not talking about getting rich or any other outrageous claims. Those conversations are everywhere. Podcasts, clips, thumbnails with rented Lamborghinis. No, today we're talking about something much harder. How to stop being pulled backward. Because here's the truth most people feel but can't articulate. You're not lazy. You're not stupid. You're not undisciplined. You're under gravity. And gravity doesn't care how motivated you feel. It only responds to force. Most people think poverty is about income. It's not. It's about momentum. If you don't generate enough forward force, life pulls you back down every single time. You save $800. The transmission fails. Medical bill shows up. You finally feel stable. Rent increases. It's not random. It's physics. And unless you understand the physics, you will keep blaming yourself for a system that runs on momentum, not effort. Today, we're going to dismantle it. We're going to expose the 5 forces that keep people stuck. And then I'm going to show you how to build the engine required to break orbit. Because once you escape gravity, the game changes completely. When a rocket launches, it doesn't drift into space. It fights the strongest resistance it will ever face at the beginning. That resistance is gravity. If it reaches escape velocity, it enters orbit. If it falls short, it crashes back down. There is no partial orbit. There is no almost. And this is what most working people experience. You push, you grind, you save, you try, but the force you're generating isn't enough to overcome the pull of emergencies, job lost, stress, inflation, social pressure. So you fall back, and every fall costs energy. That's why it gets harder over time. Because now you're not just fighting gravity, you're fighting discouragement. That's the hidden weight. Let's talk about something uncomfortable. Scarcity doesn't just empty your wallet, it empties your brain. When you're financially stressed, your mind shifts into survival mode. You don't think long-term, you think immediate. You don't plan, you react. You don't strategize, you survive. And survival mode is expensive. Because when your mental bandwidth is consumed by, how do I make it to Friday, you cannot think about 5 years from now. You're not bad at planning. You're overloaded. That's why the first stage of escape isn't investing. It isn't entrepreneurship. It isn't crypto. It's creating breathing room, a buffer. Because when you have even a small emergency fund, something powerful happens. You stop panicking. And when panic leaves, intelligence returns. That's the first breakthrough. Not money, clarity. Now let's go deeper. Why do people spend money they don't have? It's easy to judge, harder to understand. When life feels heavy, your nervous system wants relief. A small win, a quick hit, a moment of control. Buying something gives you that for about 20 minutes. The purchase isn't about status, it's about escape. But here's the problem. Relief is temporary. Debt is not. So you feel better briefly, then worse longer. And the cycle tightens. The breakthrough here isn't shame. It's awareness. When you realize consumption is emotional anesthesia, you can replace it. Instead of chasing dopamine through spending, you start generating it through progress. Saving becomes satisfying. Skill building becomes rewarding. Debt reduction becomes addictive. That's when momentum shifts. Now we address the most common advice. Work harder. But there's a ceiling built into that strategy. Time is finite. If income equals hours worked, your income has a maximum, but your expenses do not. And inflation doesn't ask permission. So you're sprinting on a treadmill that speeds up every year. The only way to break that pattern is to detach income from hours, which means stop thinking, how can I work more? Start thinking, how can I become more valuable? The market does not reward effort. It rewards scarcity. If thousands can do what you do, wages stay flat. If few can do what you do, leverage increases. So instead of stacking hours, stack skills, not to impress people, to increase your economic gravity. When two average skills combine, they create uncommon value. That's leverage, and leverage breaks ceilings. This one hurts because it involves people you care about. Every environment has a financial thermostat. If the norm is struggle, ambition feels arrogant. If the norm is complaining, discipline feels extreme. When you start changing, resistance appears. Not because people hate you, because change threatens identity. If you improve, it forces others to confront stagnation. So they pull, they joke, they minimize, they question. That's gravity. You don't need to cut everyone off, but you must protect your direction. Exposure shapes expectation. If you consume small thinking, you shrink. If you consume strategic thinking, you expand. Your inputs determine your orbit. Choose wisely. Now we reach the dividing line. Compound interest works for two groups of people: those who earn it, those who pay it. If you carry high-interest debt, math works against you daily, even when you sleep. But once you eliminate high-interest drag and begin accumulating assets, math switches sides. Progress accelerates quietly. It looks small at first, embarrassingly small. But compounding is invisible until it's undeniable. This is the moment of escape velocity, when your assets begin covering your basic needs, when time is no longer sold for survival, when options appear. That's orbit. And orbit is calm. No more violent launch, no more crashing back, just stability. Here's what I need you to understand. This is not about becoming wealthy to impress people. This is about generating enough momentum so life stops knocking you over. The system is not a conspiracy. It's math. And math can be reversed. Not with motivation, with structure. So if you feel stuck, stop asking, why am I failing? Start asking, am I generating enough force? Because small effort inside a heavy system equals zero progress. But focused force applied consistently breaks gravity. And once you break gravity, you never fight the same way again. The door isn't locked. You just haven't built enough speed yet. Build the engine, generate the force. Reach escape velocity. And I'll see you in orbit.